Vlog 25, traveling from Athens to London. So far, London's not my favorite place in the world. We had an exciting travel day today, starting with the airport in Athens, waiting in line to check in. We had this lovely family behind us that insisted on taking up our personal space. There's a line on the ground that you're supposed to stand behind to wait your turn, and they totally came across it and were standing like on top of me and my mom's like, you know, you guys someone needs to back up, don't you know, you're supposed to wait behind the line, blah blah blah. So then she's trying to get her passport out and elbows the kid. They still don't move. So then when we're trying to get she puts her backpack on when we're finally done and whacks the kid. Still doesn't move. So I have my big huge piece of backpack that I have to sling up because it's so freaking heavy. And I'm like, someone's got to move or you're going to get busted with my bag. And nobody moved, so I slung it on and hit the kid third time and they still didn't move. And I know the Europeans are, you know, they have a smaller bubble of personal space than Americans. But so far, my entire trip, that was by far the worst. Like literally on top of us. I called him a freak, and my mom laughed really hard, but had to be there kind of thing. So then, freaks. We had to go down a little bit so I could readjust all my stuff because I had no room. And when I finally got, you know, a little bit of space and set my stuff down, that's the first thing that came out of my mouth. I just said, freaks. And she cracked up, but it was really just, I had to see it. It was very...
The freak family.
Yeah, it was not nice. But anyways, we made it to London. What do we have happen in London? Oh, when I got my backpack off the conveyor belt, it was raining out, so it was all wet, which is not a big deal, but it came out with grease marks all over it, which is not a big deal either because I've been traveling for so long and I've gotten a lot of use out of it. But
how about the currency exchange?
Okay. It's a shame that I made it this far and now it decides to get ruined, you know what I mean? Only a couple of days left and now it's got grease all over it. But, oh well. And then, so we decided to change some money because England and Dublin use pounds, and I feel like we got robbed, like totally ripped off, and I'm just very disappointed because I traded in $300 US cash and we got 160 pounds, so it's kind of a bummer, and I don't really feel like spending any money now. It's like disappointment to start my trip. So had all that happen, so then we pay to get on the bus to take us to our hotel, which is about an hour bus ride, and we're about halfway there, and the bus breaks down, so it was something with the brakes, so he couldn't drive it, so then he said we had to wait for another bus, which would take an hour. It didn't end up taking an hour because there was a bus coming in the other direction, so we traded. The passengers on that bus got off and got on our bus, and we got on their bus because it was going back to the station so it could be fixed. So not a big deal, but it's just funny because like all this bad stuff is happening in London so far, and then we have this motel that we're staying in, which was the cheapest I could find, which wasn't cheap at all, and we're in the basement, which is interesting, and it kind of smells funny, and my bed was dirty, but that's okay. So hopefully tomorrow, our first full day in London, will be a little bit better than today.